Hey folks, it's Teresa from Stringfield Ridge Farm. I came out today to do a little work in my herb garden. I have a 6 raised bed herb garden. It is, getting towards the end of fall even, and things are starting to die back some, and I need to do a little cleanup, a little fall cleanup. But first, I'm going to sit over there on my bench and say a little prayer over our property. I do this in the spring, and we've had such a dry spell and such heat that I decided to do it again now, even though things are starting to die back, and I'm getting the last bit of my herbs harvested. I'm going to say a little prayer again over my gardens and my property, and it doesn't hurt to do that often. I know somebody that said she goes around once a month and prays over her property. So I think that's a great idea. I always do it in the spring, and since she told me that she does it once a month, I thought I needed to do it again, and now's a good time since I'm trying to get the last bit of stuff out, and I just had a fox try to get in my chicken coop this morning. Another good reason to come out here and pray over my property and my herb garden and my chickens. So anyway, I'll show you a little bit about what I'm doing after I sit down here and say my prayer. Things are really winding down. I have a few green tomatoes left. Tomatoes don't do great in this herb garden because it's partially shaded. So I always try, and then I'll get a few tomatoes, but not a great bunch. So I'm going to have to quit trying and just make it a herb garden. The herbs do really good. I do have a few pepper plants. They didn't do great either. Same thing, I try it every year and then it doesn't do great. Cool weather things do good in here, like cabbage and spinach and lettuces, things like that do really good in here with the herbs. So I'm going to have to just stick to that and quit trying to do tomatoes in here. But there's Miss Fancy. But anyway, I'm in here right now trying to cut back some of this stuff because I have a lot of old dead. The year is about over and it's been really, really hot, which has caused a lot of it to maybe die a little early. I did get a lot of stuff cut. I've done a lot of my herbs this year. I cut and cut and cut, and of course, if you know herbs, you know that the more you cut, the more they come back. So, so I've gotten a lot out of each herb. And since we're planning on redoing these beds this year, we're gonna have to fill them back up. You can see where they've sunk way down in each bed. Each bed has sunk by half. So we're gonna have to fill those back up. I don't know, late fall or early spring, something. And right now I'm cutting back some lemon balm, and you can see new growth. So the weather is getting cooler, and some of the new growth is starting to come out down in the, down in the bottom there. So I'm cutting back this old dead. I've already cut most of that one. You can see over here with the catnip what I'm talking about. A lot of old dead stick parts. So that one just pulled right out. And that's a weed, but in there is my catnip, and that's what the cats have been in here going crazy over because I started cutting it, and they could smell it, and they come and started rolling. 2 of the cats come and started rolling in it. So what we're going to do is dig up a piece of each one. I'm going to dig up a piece of each herb that I want to keep and put them in pots and put them in the greenhouse. And then after we get the beds done in the early spring, I will bring them back out and plant them when frost is over. And anyway, so I got to finish that one. But I started down here on the oregano, and that's what I was going to show you too, is that I got down here and started cutting on the oregano. And you can see some little pieces starting to come back out in there. So I'm cutting off all this dead big stuff so that I can get to the little new stuff that's coming in. And the cats come down here and started going in that too. So I don't know if they like oregano as much as they do catnip, but they come down here and started rolling in that too. But they sure do love the catnip. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm fixing to cut the rest of this. I had moved my comfrey. If you watched my videos a little while back, I had moved this comfrey over here to another spot that I wanted it, and it just keeps coming back here. So I'm going to take that completely out and cut it back, move it again, and I'm going to cut all that comfrey back all the way down to utilize that. I've used a lot of it, but I'm going to finish it off and probably do the same with most of this stuff. I'm going to finish it off. Oops, there's my dead. But you can see even the comfrey's got some new stuff coming back out where it's died out, and then there's new coming back in. So I'm going to cut all this old out and utilize most of it and let the new come back. It's this cooler weather that's causing some of that stuff to come back up. And then I've got my lavender. A lot of it's starting to die out. I'm going to cut it back and use a bunch of it. And it is about 3 years old. So I'm going to try to get a start off of it in case it does die out and doesn't come back. And that's that weird sage. I can't never remember the name of this sage, but it's got a beautiful flower. I'm going to move it somewhere where it can just be a flower because I don't use it. And then that yarrow, I've got fresh new yarrow coming out way down in there. There's a little bit of fresh yarrow coming out, but most of this is the older. I've already gotten some seeds. I could get some more seeds. And try to dig that up and put it in a bucket. But I'm going to cut it way back. I'm going to save a bunch of those seeds too, just in case. And she's going to get in that too. She's like, I don't care what it is. I'm just going to get in it all. So there's some of those tomato plants. There's some feverfew that I just started this year. I bought a couple of little plants off of a lady. And I also had planted some seeds that I didn't think came up. And then some of it did. I've got the 3 little plants there. I'm going to dig one of them up, or maybe dig them all up. I don't know. And put them in containers so that I can bring them back out in the spring when we get these beds done. But these beds have to be done. Fancy's breathing hard, so I'm going to take her in a minute. She's going to have a heart attack. So, yeah, those tomato plants. I have giant, I took a bunch of seeds off of this. I'm going to get all the seeds off of this. The giant marigold, I always plant that around throughout my beds. And this bee balm, I cut a lot of it back. And it's coming back out down in here. So I'm going to cut the rest of this old stuff out. Same with all of it. Cut all this old out. I have really used a lot of this echinacea. And I'm going to probably dig up some roots and get some root. And then put the rest of it in a pot. I'm going to cut that back. Dig up a little bit of root. And then dig it up and put it in a pot. And let's see. Ooh, and then pepper plants. They put on some peppers, but just not great. They just don't do great out here. It's partial shade. That is a stevia plant. I've cut a lot of it. I'll probably go ahead and cut it. It does not keep well for me. So it doesn't overwinter well for me. And I could dig that up and put it in a pot. But I don't know how well it still will hold through the winter, even in a pot in the greenhouse. I'll try it. I may cut it back and use what I can and try it. But I've not had very good luck with that. Got a few weeds, but they'll be gone. What is this? We got something here that is something come up from the radishes or something I had. Has tried to come back up there. And that tomato plant. And, you know, I get some tomatoes. I mean, those are doing pretty good. These are on the end that gets the first sun. So they do a lot better than, say, the one up there that stays shaded longer. This end of the, let me back out. This end of the beds gets sun first. And so if I do plant any more tomato plants in here, they have to really be on this end of the bed. Probably gets sun from about 11 to 3 is about all this herb garden gets. And so, some more of that coming back out, I see. This is that scarlet runner bean. It about died out. There's both of them, 2 of them. That's what I had on the trellises this year with scarlet runner bean. And the heat has about killed them. But, just like everything else, it's trying to come back up in a few spots. And there's even one out here, 2 out here, trying to come up on the outside of it. I guess some of the beans fell. And anyway, so that's what I got going on today. I'm working on. Got to get all this stuff cut back and utilize what I can. Like I said, I've utilized a lot this year out of my herb gardens, so I'm satisfied with what I've already gotten. But since it's the end of the season and everything's really starting to die back, I'm getting, like I said, some fresh new stuff coming up. So I'm just going to chop it all down and get ready to dig some up and put in the greenhouse. All the stuff that I plant, most of it will overwinter out here and come back next year. That's what I try to make sure I have. But since we're going to redo these beds, I can't do that this year. So I may lose a few things. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can put some of this in buckets and salvage what I can. But these beds have to be redone. You can see there how far this has gone down. These were all the way up to the top of that. And they've gone down like at least half. Some places more than half. You know. So, I see a pepper over there I need to pick. One pepper ready. And I need to take Fancy in. She's about to stroke out on me, I think, over there. So, I guess I'll run her in and get her a drink and then come back out. This needs mowing in here. He mowed outside, but he hadn't mowed in here, so I may have to get the old thing going and get some of it mowed. It could be weed eated. A lot of times he just weed eats it, and that's fine. That works, but I can't use his weed eater. He's got a gas weed eater that's kind of hard to start, so I had almost rather use that thing than the weed eater. And that thing is that old, I've showed on other videos, that old little lawnmower dude. Old-fashioned type lawnmower. And it'll do it. It will do it. It's just, I'm backwards. Okay. I think I'm backwards and got to spin around here. There we go. It's not really hard. It's not really hard. It's a little harder with one hand. It's a little harder holding this phone and trying to do it, but it's not that bad. So I could do that and get this cut down some. Some of it's not bad at all, where I walk the most, I guess. And then in between, that's pretty growed up. So I got a lot to do. But first, I'm going to have to get this dog in and get her a drink because she is running around here panting like crazy. And then I'm going to finish up with the oregano and the catnip and the comfrey. So there you go. That's what we've got going on today. Just a little bit ago, I had a fox try to get in my chicken coop. I was in the house. And I heard the chickens just absolutely going nuts. All of them. Both, we have 2 coops. We have an older bunch and a younger bunch. And the chickens were just going crazy out here. I mean, I could just hear them squawking and hollering and the roosters going crazy. And I looked out the window and there was a fox over here on the other side of this, trying to dig down underneath there, and I saw it and come running out hollering. So I'm not letting them out today. I probably will be out here a lot, but I still am afraid to let them out since we had that close of a call. I probably won't let them out for a couple of days, and maybe the fox will go on off and forget about them. But we don't let them out usually unless we're going to be home or out here, and then I usually do let them out every day, but not today after seeing that. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and comment, and if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do.